Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, as you can tell from the title, I'll be drawing a couple of cats after I figure out the one I like best in my sketchbook. I'll transition to marker paper and then color them in with Ohuhu markers. As you can see here, I'm just laying down the basic shapes so that I can get a feel for where everything is going. I'm not adding details at this point. I'm just trying to make sure I have everything so that it's noticeable that this is a cat. Up here, I'm adding in the little rectangles to indicate here are the ears. I do go in and refine this a little bit later, but in the initial stage, you just want to block everything out to make sure you're not missing anything. For me, I really enjoy including noses while drawing, but I also know that you have to be very careful because each animal tends to have a distinctive nose that sets it apart, and if you're trying to stylize it, you can run into the risk of creating a nose that kind of looks like it belongs in a different animal. As you can see right now, I'm giving a lot of attention to details of the face. Well, the one thing about me, when I started learning how to draw, I first started with drawing human faces, so that's why in a lot of my drawings the faces are very expressive, because that's just what I'm used to. With humans, a lot of their emotions are shown through their face, so even though I'm not drawing humans and I do tend to do more animals now, I still transmit those properties that I learned while doing humans into my animal drawings. So I'm going to transition to drawing the back of the cat. Now this cat is sort of in a sitting standing position, if that makes sense, so its back is curved a little bit, and I'm currently trying to give separation between the two front feet. I can imagine this cat like seeing something and trying to decide, am I gonna go and investigate further, or is it nothing and I can just leave it alone? I do kind of want to apologize for the times that my hand is blocking your view, but you can see that I am trying to move my hand down out of the way. In the next videos, I do a good job of making sure you can see what I'm drawing and my hand is not obstructing your view. As I've currently drawn the cat, it looks like one of those cartoon cats where it hasn't eaten in a while and its belly is rumbling and it's just starving. Trust me, I do make sure that this cat looks full and well fed in a couple seconds. I do go in and change how the cat's looking because I'm like, that's not quite right. Since the cat is sitting down, its belly will be at a slight angle in regards to its front legs. I even go in and erase the straight line that I had coming down from the neck to the body to indicate kind of like rows of fat or rows of love, if you will, that the cat is well taken care of and is not a sickly cat on the street. As I have it right now, the tail is blocky, and so I'm just trying to go in and give it a little flow, a little definition. You know how like tails of cats, they like swoop at things. I'm trying to give it that swoopiness. So here I am just putting in the rough details for the second cat. I end up drawing it behind the first cat, so it looks a little smaller in comparison because it is further into the background. Now in comparison to the first cat, this one is in a crouching position as if it's about to prance on its prey. Maybe it sees a mouse in the distance, or it wants to attack a nearby human's foot that just crossed its path. Either way, I'd say don't mess with this cat because now that he has you in his line of sight, he is going to come after you. I usually draw the head first, but I decided to draw it after I positioned the body of the cat because since I'm drawing it behind the first cat, I wanted it enough of the body to show that the pose is interesting, where you can kind of get that it's like waiting on its prey before it lunges at it. Now that all the main details are in, I'm going back and just refining some of the shapes, like I'm giving definition to the rear area, and you can't see it now because I thought well of it to just put my hand in front of the view of what you should be able to see me drawing. But I was drawing in the back and giving it a little bit of arch so that you can see that this cat has some fluidity to it. So I'm about to really start defining the definition into the feet. So instead of it just looking like blobs hitting the ground, you'll be able to see that the paws are interacting with the surface, and it'll have a little curvature as the paw pads of the cat hit the tile of the floor. Here I extend the chest so that it is facing down towards the ground. Since it's like lurching down, I believe gravity would have its way and just pull it down a little bit more, and it wouldn't be as flat and as upright as I had it originally. Especially as cat gets older, they start to sag a little bit, unfortunately, but just means that they're well loved and have a good life. Here I am working on the face. Since I drew in that squarish character, I definitely erased that because I'm like, the reference photo is not showing that. That looks a hot mess. I am drawing in like the cheeks and like the mouth. So you can see I make the cheeks a little puffy. I thought that was kind of cute. And then I draw in the ear because cats have those distinctive ears. And I'm drawing in, you know, those little like fluffy or the hair that sticks out of the ear. That's what the shading is trying to indicate. I don't know if I achieved that. You guys can let me know that in the comments. And I am giving them these ovalish shaped eyes. And that definition, they don't really have like eyebrows in the references that I chose. So I didn't want to give them eyebrows, but I kind of did because I'm used to drawing humans. So I just gave, it could be fur, it could be eyebrows, you don't really know. The cat that I was looking at had stripes. It was a gray cat with like bluish stripes or just darker gray stripes. I don't know how you would classify it. I don't do it all around the body, but just on the like limbs and the tail. It also had it on the face, but I'm pretty sure I did not include that. As any good artist, I am jumping all around during this drawing. I am not just focusing on one area. When I look back at the reference, I notice, oh, I didn't do this or this. And so I'm going back to add detail into the paws that are furthest away from the viewer. As you can see, I did the detail work on the front too to make it look like it's hitting the ground, but now I'm working on the back too. This back paw, this furthest from the viewer, but it's the front paw, not the back. Excuse me. It was giving me grief. As you can see in the earlier clips, you might have to scroll back. It was shorter than the other one, so I had to redraw it. I did some editing out of it, me redoing this. I still think it is too big in comparison because it looks bigger than the paw closest to the viewer in the front, and it should be smaller in theory, but it was giving me the blues, so I did leave it at that. And I go back into a little more shading of the butt area, and as I was talking about earlier, I included the stripes on the tail because that was cute, and I just knew I had to include it for you guys. I go ahead and give the face a little more detail. It does have less than the original cat because the original cat had a spotting all around its face. But I go give those pupil eyes that are characteristics for a cat. And I want to warn you about this jump scare. This next cat is horrendous. I do end up leaving it instead of erasing it, but you're in for a treat. I'll just say that. This is kind of like a bigger cat. It's definitely well loved, a little chunky, if you will. I'm just drawing in the eyes and the mouth, just getting the face right, which usually does me well. Whenever I start with the face, I tend to work it out or just make something work, but this one, I just don't know. I just don't know what went wrong, but it went wrong fast. And so up shortly, I will jump ahead because you guys don't need to see this monstrosity that I created. I don't want to taunt you guys or scare you and so that you leave this video. But it's also, like, I'm looking at it now, like, something like how I connected the head to the body looks off. It just looks like something from Nightmare. It's a little creepy, a little off-putting. It's almost like when you do realism, which I'm not doing here, but I think it's similar to it. When you do realism, you have to nail almost every detail, or if you don't, it'll have this unsettling feeling when you look at it. And this is just what this encapsulates. I kind of do the M on the forehead, which it reminds me of the manga M, like when they're doing the hair. I don't know why I did that. It doesn't work here. It's not serving. It's not giving. Let's just forget I ever did this, honestly. I do need to stop because it does get worse than this, if you can believe it. I can't, but I don't stop. I continue on. I saved you from the rationale that voiceover me was going to give you because there is no good justifiable reason, and I will insert some spooky music for you to enjoy while I finish up this cat. Hopefully the end result or the music wasn't too bad of a jump scare. But I transitioned to this third cat, which I ended up getting rid of, but looking back now, I really do like it. Anyway, the cat that I'm looking at, it's kind of a potato cat if you think of it. It's curled up on this bed for like animals or dogs. And it really is in this crouch position, so you're only seeing it from the side profile. What I should have done when drawing this back ear, I should have shaded the front part of it to make sure that you know what the inside of the ear to the outside of the ear is, but I don't, so you'll just have to imagine the inside is closest to you, which I don't think is too hard, especially after I made that modification so that it's clear that there are two distinct parts. Anyway, I ended up drawing the eye and focusing in on the face, drawing little dots for like where the whiskers would point out, even though I don't include the whiskers in there. I just am trying to make it so that it's not too realistic, but stylized, which having realistic tone to give, oh, I'm a cat and not a fox. It's definitely not a dog. I don't think it's that bad off. Again, I was telling you it is crouching down, sitting on a bed, so I make those wavy lines to indicate that. I got rid of one cat but added another one in its place, so hopefully you can forgive me. I ended up liking the cat that was pouncing the best. That's not the exact one I drew, but it is pretty close. And so I will have a sped up version of this cat being colored in for you guys to all enjoy. Take care. See you in the next video.